Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Crew Dog here. I just took this 2024 Road Glide up to South Dakota and Minnesota and then rode it back on an iron butt. I'm going to tell you the 5 things I liked and disliked about this motorcycle. So stick with me. We'll talk about it. Hey guys, so welcome back. So I just got back from a 3,400 mile road trip. Some of those videos are starting to come out now. I was up in Rochester, Minnesota for the CVMA national meeting, and before that, me and a couple buddies spent about 4 days up in South Dakota, hitting up all the things there is to do. Needles, Iron Mountain Road, all different monuments, so that was a good time. Some of you may be aware that I used to have a 2019 Road Glide Special, which I traded in just prior to this trip. I was having some electrical issues with it, so it was time to, get into something new. And I'm kind of using that when I talk about this video, as far as basing the new off of what the old used to have, the Rushmore package motorcycles, specifically my 2019 Road Glide Special. So first, I want to get into the cons. The stock seat, it's a stock seat, so it is what it is. It's only going to be so good. After the first 150 miles, I knew, it wasn't going to work out. I was a little upset, unfortunately, because I just paid good money for a Saddlemen Extended Reach road sofa for my 19, which doesn't fit in the new 24 model. So if you have a seat on your older model bike and think you're going to switch it over to one of the new 24 models, ain't going to work. You have to go get you a new one. Fortunately, one of my brothers who has an older model bike was able to get that seat for free from the dealership. They were pretty cool about it. So fixed it pretty easily. Just went ahead and got like a $30 little air pad off of Amazon, and it worked okay for the first 2,400 miles or so on that road trip. Ow! I'm feeling it right now, man. But after that, I was ready to get off that motorcycle. The new switch clusters, there's a lot there, and there needs to be. There's a lot more to these motorcycles, a lot more technology involved in them. And people have been complaining for years about Harley-Davidson, old school technology, this and that. Well, with that new technology comes new issues. You're gonna have to learn a whole bunch of new switches and gauges and all that stuff. Specifically, the cruise control can be a little difficult. Takes time to learn, just like anything else. But not too bad. The important stuff's still there. It still has opposing turn signal switches, and simple stuff like that. So there were some connectivity issues with the Apple CarPlay. So if you're not aware, Harley-Davidson announced that to use the Apple CarPlay, which is available in the new Skyline operating system, you have to have a wireless Bluetooth device on your helmet. Specifically for me, I use Cardo. So I noticed on this trip, while using the Cardo, works great. It pairs up pretty fast. Only takes a couple seconds. But I did notice that once the Cardo gets down to low battery, typically below 25%, if you're already synced up, it'll stay synced. It's going to work until the battery goes dead. However, if you get off the motorcycle, walk away, go get some food, or taking a gas break, whatever it may be, and you come back and you try to sync it up again, the bike will say it's connected, but when you go to select CarPlay, it's not letting you do it. It just doesn't work. I tried doing it by hitting the CarPlay button on the screen. I've also tried it by going through settings and connecting the device. It just wasn't working. I don't know if it's an issue with my Cardo or if it's just an all-around issue with the Cardo and the Harley-Davidson. I'm not sure. But that was something that came up. So let's get back into the Skyline operating system. It's great. I love everything it brings to the table. Just having everything right there. Very easy to get through with a toggle, which is one of the things that's in a very good position in the new clusters. When we were riding through rain, sometimes heavy, sometimes just a light misting, the water will collect on that vent that's right above the screen and eventually drip down and lands on the screen. I noticed that when it did this, that water droplet running down the screen was actually enough to pull my map, reposition my map. So the sensitivities, it's up there on that screen, and I have not found a sensitivity adjustment yet for the screen. I'm not sure if there is one. If you know of one, please let me know. But that'd be cool to have either that adjusted, either in a software update, or maybe even just like a little protector that Harley comes out with. You can put on the screen and help reduce some of that sensitivity. Last thing on the cons is the glove box and door latches. I like that they're spring loaded. The doors come up and stay up, but the latches feel kind of cheap. If you're trying to run an iPhone or any kind of phone charging cable out through that door, if you have it in a position the door doesn't like, it won't close, or it won't stay closed. Several times on the trip, I had it coming out from the door. The door was latched, at least I thought it was. The next thing I know, I look over and the door is up. I push it down, and unless you push it down that little spot that's recessed, it did not want to latch closed. So I don't know. That could be a simple fix on Harley's part. I just, when you're buying a $26,000 MSRP motorcycle, you expect those kind of things to be, in good order. But it is what it is. Not everything can be perfect. It's not a huge deal. I'm really nitpicking here, but plenty of space in there. If you reposition the cable, it kind of fixes that problem. But it's something that hopefully they'll fix in newer models as this one goes forward. So we'll get into the pros, the positive things I've noticed on this bike, and there are, just like the cons, 5 of them that stick out in my head. First one being the 117 power plant. Now the 117 has been around for a while now. They had them in the CVOs. It's a great motor. I did not find myself wanting or needing more power.
More power, man! More power! More power, man! More power! More power!
That 117 did everything I needed it to do. It definitely had the power to get me down the road. On the highway, when it comes time to pass other vehicles, the power was there, and I didn't even need the sport mode to do it. Just in the normal riding mode, it was good to go. The large screen on the Skyline operating system, I love it. Yeah, there's that issue with the sensitivity, but this screen has everything. The map is big enough off to the right side of the screen where I can see everything I need to do. By pressing on the screen, the search bar is big enough where I can manipulate it. Positioning can be a little awkward, especially if you're wearing gloves and you have to hit with the full surface of your finger to try to tap stuff. That can be troublesome, but everything is there I need it to be. The gauge clusters are big. I like that there's multiple modes, like your sport mode, where it has the gauge set up right there in the center. Your touring mode, where your Apple Car plays up and your gauge is over here, and it's your normal cruising mode, where you have your tach and your speedometer and your associated information along the sides of it. So it's a really good setup. I'm still learning all the little nuances with it, but it's a great system. I see it just getting better and better as the years go on with this new version of the touring bikes. The stock bars on the new 24s, I love them. As you see in the video here, it's very simple just to loosen them up and roll them forward now that you don't have those gauges there, the old analog gauges that were on the previous model bikes. I love it. I'm glad it's there. I don't even see myself needing to upgrade my bars. I had 14-inch factory 47 bars on my last bike. These are just as good positioning wise. So I do like that about the new 24s. The glove boxes, though the doors were a little finicky, there is plenty of space in them. I was able to fit 2 sets of gloves in there, plus an extra pair of riding glasses and my toll tickets while we're riding. I still had plenty more room. As you can see, I could fit most of my arm, at least up to where my tattoo is, in there. So that's a lot of space. So I do like that. And both sides have equal amount of space, at least as far as I can tell. The ride modes, arguably the best part with the new 24 bikes. When we talk about the use and function of the bike, I'm not even going over the look, because the look is amazing if you ask me. But the ride modes are amazing. I've been hoping that Harley would have those now for a while. I got buddies that ride Indians, and they've had them on there for some time. But they're great. The rain mode, it's sensitive. What I mean by that is, if you're in rain mode and you really want to get into it, there is no getting into it. You get a thing full throttle and it lags on power. But I guess that's a good thing. That's probably what they were going for in this situation. Especially you got a new rider who's not really doesn't really have the experience riding in poor weather, it could benefit them. Keeping them from spinning that rear tire and losing control of the bike. But that paired with the traction control of the motorcycle, it's a very safe mode for any kind of poor weather riding, whether it's rain, hail, whatever you find yourself getting into. The normal riding mode, I love it. It does everything I need to do on a daily basis. If I'm running down the highway and need to pass that semi, or I'm in a really short passing zone, I got to get by somebody. It has the power there. It's a perfect normal riding mode. I mean, there's no really way to better explain it than that. Sport mode, love it. Love the sport mode. When that thing, I mean, it could be kind of jumpy, I guess is the best way to explain it. I mean, you just touch that throttle and she wants to go. She wants to give you all that power and run down the road. And that 117, man, there's no holding it back. It wants to scream. So that sport mode, for those out there who love to be full throttle or reverse, it's for you. So, but that's going to be it, guys. In the end of the day, it's a great motorcycle. I'm glad what Harley did with this. I know there's several folks out there who don't like to see change. The change has to come for them to stay, in business and to stay, competitive against other touring bike manufacturers. They have to make these improvements to keep them that premier motorcycle company that we know them to be. So until next time, guys, ride safe, keep the shiny side up, go test ride one of these new motorcycles. I think you might like it. So we will see you down the line.